I want to ask you what your worst in-person networking experience. Don't tell me the group. What big mistake did you make?
That I made?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. How long do you got?
Not much time. Welcome to Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. And I am Sheryl Powers. I am a serial entrepreneur, and I have trained thousands in networking.
I'm Rob Bliss, and I'm a small business owner that through my networking, I have 5X my business.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. Don't do this the hard way. Do this the easy way. The easy way is always the better way.
Absolutely.
It's always the better way. So we have totally screwed up. We've absolutely blown it. Rob has multiple businesses. I've had multiple businesses. I've blown it so many times. So we're going to give you a jump pass to get to the front of the line. And we have 4 pillars in networking that you need to get into your belly. Eat this stuff up, regurgitate it. Oh, I don't know, ruminate on it. There's a better term. So this first pillar out of the 4 pillars, so this is a 4-week series that we've got from here until the next 3 weeks. This first one is building
your community.
What is building your community to you?
I think what that means to me again is having the opportunity by meeting lots and lots of people. So I've got to have an audience before I can grow my business. So I need the numbers. It's all about the numbers, which is good, but then later it's going to be bad.
That's right. It's going to be bad. And then you have to pare it down. Then you got to get some more. So I'm going to read, I love definitions.
Okay.
Right. So this is interesting. So you might not find it interesting, but I do. So community, a noun, and there are 3 different definitions here. So a group of people living, I know this sounds so rudimentary, right? But stay with me here. A group of people living in the same locality and under the same government. That's number 1. Number 2, the district or locality in which such a group lives. Number 3, a group of people having common interests. So I think that people, or we as people in networking, kind of become a lost ball in tall weeds sometimes, and we forget what a community is, right? So to your point, a wide swath, right? You cast a wide net. You want to bring in a lot of people, but then you start narrowing it down. So you find people that are like-minded, whether that's, politically, that was one of the definitions, or your locality, which is so your geography, or just being like-minded in business or networking.
Right.
So that's the overall goal of community, is building people who are like-minded with you. It's not about, this is one of the things I see with people who are networking, and they're kind of new to it, Rob, and they're floundering. I've been a flopping fish, right? On the beach, just flopping around. I'm not getting anywhere. Well, it's because you're not in the water, Sheryl. You're a fish and you're not in the water. You're just flopping. But we start pitching everybody to give us a referral. Mm-hmm. And that's just not the way it's going to happen. You've got to be very defined on who you want to meet, and then find those people who are going to reciprocate based on the specificity of what you're telling them.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I mean, it goes back to what you really put a lot of importance on, is the one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So this gives you the opportunity to drill down, sort of eliminate the people. Because, we can't be friends with thousands and thousands of people. So let's be realistic here.
Yes.
So let's bring it down so that, we want to be with people we enjoy. Mm-hmm. We want to be people that bring value to the table.
Yeah.
We want to have people that we can help.
Yes.
So
let's start by helping you figure out how to find that community. So you're looking for people who are like-minded, who enjoy the same things, who are after the same goals, right? That's what you're looking for. So here's what I did, and you can chime in on what you did, what your journey was. So my big networking push came during COVID, which is, so overdone. Everybody talks about it. But so I'm on LinkedIn. I got nothing but time. So I start just searching for groups. I found some amazing groups, things I would have never thought before. Just looking for, hey, local, DFW. I'm putting those keywords, industries that you're interested in. And it may even seem like it's disjointed, but some of those groups, here's one of them. DFW CPG. Do you know what CPG stands for?
Not a clue.
Consumer packaged goods. by golly, that has been one of my favorite groups to refer people into because you'll find business people that you'll never find elsewhere. These are people who actually typically own or are involved in creating products and sending products to market. Right. So super great. But that was a good way for me to build community. And so then another one was women in manufacturing.
Okay.
Right. And so then put in your locality, your geography, if that's important to you. If it's not, then in the world's your oyster, then that's cool too. But that was a good way for me to then begin meeting people and be very strategic on when you're meeting people on Zoom, for instance. I immediately have my phone out while my laptop's up and I start connecting with them on LinkedIn right there on the spot. And then I chat, hey, I just connected with you. So I'm building my community. I'm just giving you some granular items. So what about you?
Well, I think, for me, I had the big wake up call for me was probably 3-4 years ago before COVID, where again, my business was flat and, doing okay, but just flat, and I said, man, I've got to do something about this. Now I had been out of networking, Sheryl, for quite a while. What I did basically was just networking one-on-one, didn't go to the group thing. And I said, it's about time to get, jump into the water here. And that, it just paid off tremendously in the last, like I say, 4 years. Is again, going back what we said earlier in the show was you've got to throw yourself out there, cast the net, but then you've got to have the tactics to be able to pull that down. Yeah. And one of the things I'd learned over that time was, my community was filled with my 5 plus 25 plus 150. And 5 meaning people I will talk to daily, weekly. Mm-hmm. 25 will be people I see at my networking groups once a month. Mm-hmm. And the 150 is people I have on my Christmas card list. I like them. They're good people. I could help them out 1 or 2 times a year. So then I can focus now where I've got less than 200 people. But, by going to these networking groups, that helps, knowing 200 people, that takes a lot of people you got to go through. Because again, I'm talking about people that count, that people that are go-givers, that people understand the value of networking. So it was a long process, and really it's been this last 12 months, 18 months that I've really seen the results.
Yeah, well, and while you're saying that, I thought, so just think about this kind of like a marketing funnel, right? So
absolutely.
So to the 5, 25, whatever, and 150. And so you're trying to funnel everybody down and then silo them. I hate to say that, but kind of compartmentalize or put them into a different spot into your life based on how you need them or what, role they'll play. But think about, so like with YouTube, right? So you can take a look at a video and you're one of 10,000 people who viewed that video. But then you'll see the likes. Well, there might be, out of the 10,000 people viewing, there might be 122 who liked it, right? They actually hit the button. Doesn't mean the others didn't like it, but so now you're you're building that like community. But now the next step is a subscriber. Somebody who subscribes to the channel, right? So now and that might be out of the 122 who liked it, it might be 5 who subscribe to the channel. Am I making sense?
Right.
So you have 10,000 views. So you got to throw it out there. It's a wide net. And then it begins to work its way down into the people who are going to be closer into your community, work into the next sphere of influence and be a part of your team, your community team. But it does take casting a wide net, and then it takes discernment on not getting lost in the wrong organizations. So can we talk a little bit about networking groups like in person?
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you what your worst in-person networking experience. Don't tell me the group. What big mistake did you make?
That I made?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. How long do you got?
Not much time. So give me in a minute.
I think really, overall, I mean, I think I was pretty good. But the one mistake I think I kept going over and over was I just kept on talking too much. It was all about me, handing out my business card, talking, trying to sell.
Right.
So I really think handing out the business card, talking all the time, trying to sell my product. I did that for many years before the light bulb went off.
Well, interesting. Mine was just making sure I found the right group, right? So I got lost in being tugged over to this group, tugged over to that group, and which is great. but I kept going to the wrong group instead of saying no. And you cannot grow unless you learn to say no. That is the truth. And so kind of weeding out the ones that, I mean, they might be great people,
Right.
but they're just in a different world, or maybe they're B2C and I'm B2B. I need to be with B2B people. Maybe you want to be in C-level people, right? So figure out what that group is. I think that's really important. And then after a while, you'll feel the good mojo or the vibes or whatever. You'll feel whether that relationship is building internally. And then you can say, hey, I'm committed.
Right.
But don't just jump right into the marriage, for crying out loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're having coffee. Will you marry me? Hey, here's my check. So that's what I think is really important about building your community and doing it right, is making sure you understand your criteria.
Right.
Making sure that you've researched properly, whether it's online or in person. Now you're attending and you're intentionally looking for the people that you know you want to meet, and then nurture those relationships into pillar 2, which is next week. So,
but yeah, those are great points. And you know, the other side of community too is what I read a great book by Howard Partridge called The Power of Community. He talks about three strategies or philosophies of, number one, it's a support system for you. You know, we're out there, we're beating the doors down, we're calling on people. There's a lot of rejection. You know, we need encouragement. You know, we need to talk to, you know, there's so many deep people that we meet through our networking groups. They're experts in their field. They've been through this before. So it's great to be a part of that. The other side is encouragement again.
Yeah.
You know, that again, we get beat up all the time as salespeople. And then number 3, I think, is so important that, again, I've got to remind myself, is the accountability factor.
Yeah.
You know, hold yourself, you know, have your scorecard, you know, hold yourself accountable, find somebody that you can partner with, that you can be buds and really be transparent with one another.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So transparent versus transactional, becoming accountable and not trying to sell a product and get out and being unhappy because you didn't sell something to somebody who's in the group. So yes, transparency versus transactional.
Yeah.
I think if you can be transparent, you become authentic, genuine, honest, and you're building your community in a really great, solid foundation. I'm excited about this. So next week, it is pillar number 2, which is?
That is going to be build your relationships.
That's right. So this is a great segue into next week.
Absolutely.
We're Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. And I'm Sheryl Powers.
I'm Rob Bliss.
And would you please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel? We will love you a long time. All right. Until next week, my friend.
All right.